My name is Walter Jordan. I'm from Port Townsend, Washington, small town, a little ways northwest of Seattle, other side of the Sound. I work there at a community mental health agency. I'm a mental health therapist there. In the late 70s, probably around 1978, I came across Ingo Swann's book called Kiss Earth Goodbye. And in it, he talked about some of his experiences working with parapsychologists in New York, and later on working with some researchers at the Stanford Research Institute in California. Shortly after that, I came across a copy of Mind Reach, which had just been published, Mind Reach by Puthoff and Targ. And I read that, and that just fascinated me. I was kind of hooked on the subject. At the time, I couldn't find anybody who would be interested in, trying some of that stuff out, with me. So it just sort of percolated off and on for several years into the 90s, mid-90s, when it was finally declassified as a project. I had heard little blurbs here and there, in the intervening time, but not that much. After that, I became more involved with the topic again, mainly online, and then in the early 2000s, I took a weekend course with someone, and joined the International Remote Viewing Association and started going to conferences. Well, after that weekend course, this individual, he had a group of us, and we did, work together weekly, a lot of practice and some work. He also had a business on the side, and eventually, we'd get a target sent to us every week, and I got one where it was a Japanese commuter train, and before knowing this, I got elements of what might have been the terminal, a lot of people milling around, and then on the train, I saw people just kind of sitting rigidly, and someone told me later that's what Japanese culture is like. They don't interact much on the train. And then most interestingly, I was into the wheel trucks of the train, where I picked up ozone smells, saw the sparking of the brushes on the armature saw, so to speak. Not really, but I had a sense of that, and the ozone smell and the rail noise and everything else. And then I get the feedback. I see it's an electric commuter train, and it's really exciting to have that feel of being on the target and then seeing you really were, and you got a lot of really solid information about it. Well, I finally understood the whole ideogram and AB process, the motion feel as they call it. I finally experienced what that was like, that feeling, and I learned the purpose for it. That was one of the things I liked best, is the essay work really cemented in the concepts, having to go over your notes and then write an essay on that particular lecture of the day, for homework, cemented that information in really well. Also, I liked his target work, and the field trips were very effective in learning how to pick up what's called stage 2, where you're dealing with the senses, the feel, smell, touch, taste of things. That was quite effective, actually being out in nature and doing that, as getting a demonstration of all the different stimuli that what's available, you know. And then the field trip for the aesthetic impact was where he has us not look at everything on the way to this overlook and then keep our eyes closed as we back up to the railing, turn around and look down. To this spectacular canyon. And the impact of that, quite effective in demonstrating what aesthetic impact is. That was valuable and fun.